everyone. My name is Jessica Dame, not Winston Hesh, which is on the slide, and we made a last minute change. I'm going to be the moderator today for our Carpentry Trades panel. We have two individuals here that are going to be helping us out and speaking through their experience and their background, so I will let them speak in a minute. I work with McCarthy Building Company. I'm part of the recruiting and HR group. I am the national outreach manager, and my background is to actually attract more individuals into the trades and into construction as a whole. And so to lead the panel today, I will be asking these two great individuals some questions, let them take off with all their experience and knowledge. And then of course, any questions, feel free to enter it in the chat and we will get to those as well. So just to set off, why don't we just do some intros real quick? I'll start with you, Kevin. How are you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm good. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Kevin Long. I'm with NAH Sports Flooring. Been doing sports floors for about 25 years now. It's a very, very interesting field, to say the least. It's kind of a specialty niche. So.
Sounds like it, yes. Well, I appreciate you being here today. And Michelangelo?
Hi, how are you? My name is Michelangelo Tan. I am superintendent. Well, now, I used to be a superintendent. Currently, I am regional operations manager, field operations manager for McCarthy Building Company. I've been in the industry for about 20 years, and I have enjoyed every single day so far. Some more than others, but for the most part.
Right. Never know what to expect, right? That's the great thing about construction. Mm-hmm. Well, why don't we, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. And since Michelangelo, you are already talking, I'll get started with you first. How would you describe your specific aspects of commercial building design and construction to someone interested in career in the skilled craft? So how would you describe what it is you have done in the past and do now? And then, of course, just going into how long you've been into the industry, the field, and kind of walk through the position and about what you're doing right now, because I think it's really interesting.
Yes. So I would describe construction in general. The industry is a very dynamic and it's a very challenging field, but it's very dynamic and it's very fun. Like I said, I started construction 20 years ago. I started as a laborer, and I come up through the trades until my current position. My current position is basically I'm in charge to move the most valuable asset that any company, construction company has, which is the trades, our craft, right? It's the way it is. Construction is a big wheel with a lot of moving parts, and the most important moving part is the guys in the field. That's because that's how the money is generated to do the rest, basically. So that's what I'm doing right now for McCarthy. I'm moving our most value asset to whatever is needed and to whatever they can grow more. They can explore their potential.
That's cool. How about you, Kevin? You want to talk a little bit about the aspects of your position and what you're doing currently?
Yeah, so kind of like Michelangelo there, I started out many, many years ago as a laborer doing sports floors, learning how to install them, sand finish them, all the way up through getting into project management when I was in college years, helping out in that aspect. As of now, I'm more into field management as far as the crews, and then also operations manager here at the office. So that entails everything from, change orders all the way to purchasing of equipment to keep the guys going on the jobs, and just pretty much day-to-day business is making sure the job gets done on time. So.
That's cool. All right. And since I'm with you, Kevin, can you talk a little bit about why you chose to get into construction, and then talk about what it is you enjoy about, and I know you've been through a lot of different roles, so if there's anything specific you want to kind of focus on as well.
Okay. So I actually was born into sports flooring specifically. My father owned a company years ago, and that's how I got into it. I actually went off to college because I didn't want to be in a trade. I wanted to go into accounting. Realized very quickly after I graduated from college, I hated it. I wanted to go back to doing a trade. I loved working with my hands and the daily aspects of the challenges on the job sites. And so shortly after college, that's when I pulled back in and got into that. I guess one of the unique aspects that I really enjoy to this day is the graphic arts that are involved with the sports floors, all the logos and letters and design and colors that go into the gymnasium floors themselves. We also get into doing theatrical stages, dance floors, weight rooms. And so there's just a lot of moving parts, and that's what I enjoy about it. It's not the same thing every single day here. So
what is it exactly? Can you kind of describe it a little bit more in detail for the students and teachers about what it is what does it entail for someone that has no idea when you say sports flooring and such? I mean, I have an idea, but for someone that has nothing in it, what exactly is it?
So typically we've all been inside the gymnasium at your local schools there. What our company entails as far as that's concerned is we do build up construction from concrete to a finished basketball floor. So when we come in, there's just raw concrete. And by the time we are leaving, you have a complete wooden basketball floor with all the logos, the shine, everything to it that's there. And so, yeah.
Is he frozen for you too? There you go. You froze a little bit, Kevin, just so you know.
Okay, sorry about
that. You might have missed that last sentence.
Yeah, we help with making sure that the facility has the proper floor it needs based on its basis of design.
Okay. Well. Very cool. Very cool. Michelangelo, what would you say for you? I guess, why did you get into construction? And then what has been your favorite, and what do you enjoy the most? And it could be about what you do now or earlier.
So I'm going to be completely honest. I start construction by merely coincidence. It was never the plan. I needed a job, and there was a job for me in construction, so I started. Now, when I stay in construction is different. I quickly realized that there was a lot of things in construction, but the first thing I realized is fun. I like it. I enjoy building things. It's just something that I enjoy a lot. I saw the opportunity to learn and grow. It's one of those industries that is very good at it. You do different things every day, and you learn different things every day. And if you put those things together, you can grow in your company or in the industry in general. And it's a well-paid job. It is. I mean, you can make your life very comfortable working in construction. And obviously, the more you grow, the more you get paid. So it's a very good incentive. I mean, nobody works for free. And if the plan is to sustain a family and make a living out of a profession or a career, construction is a very good option for everybody, I would say.
That's awesome. And for the roles that you have either currently or you've had in the past, how is the job market right now for construction and for those roles? Like as a 8th grader or 9th grader, even a 12th grader, 11th grader, if I decide, hey, this seems like a cool thing to do, is there going to be an opportunity for me?
So yes, there is opportunities, and there, yes, there will be opportunities. Just to give you an idea, 21% of the construction workers in general, they're about 55 years old. So they're very near to retirement. So those spots, they have to be filled in this industry. Second thing, construction is a growing industry. The most people we have in the city, the most things we have to build. So it's not like we have to keep steady 1,000 workers per se. This year we need 1,000. Next year we're gonna need 1,200. Next year we're gonna need 1,400. So it's a growing industry. So yes, there is always going to be an opportunity in construction, and I mean it's been proven this year through the challenges we have as a human race. Construction was deemed as a essential business. We cannot stop building, period. We need to keep going. We need to keep doing whatever we're doing because it's important for the economy. It is important for everything to keep moving.
How about you, Kevin? What do you think for the roles?
Yeah, this particular industry, it's kind of a tight-knit group as far as specifically here in Texas that I can speak of. I don't know about the other states because I haven't traveled outside of Texas with this industry much, but there's only about 5 companies here in Texas I know that do this specifically. And most of the guys that are in it now are, like Michelangelo was talking about, are getting to be within the next 10, 15 years, they're all going to be retiring out. And so we absolutely do have a need for young, talented guys that are or gals that are willing to work and put their boots on every day and get after it. So yeah, there's definitely a need.
That's good. That's good. So for all of those listening, there are jobs out there where you can make some nice cash and succeed and grow in. So that's a very good option. Now, when you look back, not so far back at your school, when you were, let's say, in high school and such, what were you active in? And I'll start with you, Kevin. What were you active in at school? And let's start there. And then I guess we'll go into what, for your type of role, how did you get there? Like, I mean, you kind of mentioned your father was in the business, but what kind of certifications did you need, training? When you look back, what did you need? But let's go to the fun part first.
Yeah, so I guess the probably biggest thing was the sports and being physically active, because this is a physically demanding job. Tons and tons of walking and heavy lifting on a daily basis. So your powerlifting, your football, even tennis for the walking aspect. Those all really helped as far as keeping physically active. As far as growing up and getting into it, the trainings, it was all taught down, but yeah, so there's definitely steps where you would start out as an installer, work your way into the sand and finish, because it's more of a detailed, and so someone really has to know what they're doing, be able to pay attention. Very self-motivated, because a lot of this work is not necessary. You're not going to have a supervisor there the whole time. They're going to teach you how to use the machines. Once you're fluent in how to run them, then you'd be left alone on a job site to take care of it by yourself. So being self-motivated is a big one as far as moving up, and also just the willingness to learn and work hard.
That's good. Now, did you, in your high school, did you have any leadership roles that you feel kind of helped prepare you for something like this? Because you just mentioned, you're just kind of left at the job site by yourself.
Yeah, so I guess being part of the National Honor Society.
That's good.
Actually, one of the biggest things that really helped me in this, and I never thought it would hold true after teachers told me for years and years, is the amount of math knowledge you need after you leave college. As far as the geometry, I mean, you think about all the circles and graphics and stuff we're putting on the gym floors, and that takes a lot of geometry to be able to figure out those radiuses.
Geometry. That was a class I thought I'd never use. That's cool you say that.
Yeah, that, and we've even gotten into physics a little bit about the volume of what it's going to take. So on our stage floors, sometimes we have to put a bat insulation in between our subfloor panels, and so we've got to be able to figure out the volume underneath there of how much we're going to need. And so a lot of math came into play after I got out of high school that you never thought you're going to use. So.
That's good. All right, how about you, Michelangelo? What activities did you do in high school that you feel kind of transferred over?
So I don't think anything I did except for the math, it transferred to.
There's that word again for everyone that says they don't like math. Embrace it.
Yes. So it's not complicated. You're not going to be doing equations unless you're a field engineer. Then you will have to. But we have machines to do that for you as well. Yes, we do. We have robots. It's pretty cool. But I do think construction is natural for most of people. I think I see it that it's like an instinct for humans. You look at it this way: the human race, as a race, we have not been able to survive because we have evolved. We have been able to survive because the capacity that we have to build things, to build shelters, to build places for us to survive, basically. That's the first thing. So it's natural for us. It's actually, when you're a little kid, one of the first things you play is construction. You play Legos, and when you have cars, you don't have to play cars. You start building little house cars and things like that. So we enjoy building. Building things is something that is human instinct for us. As far as a degree, I don't think you need a degree. I mean, a degree always helps, but you cannot learn construction. The only way that you learn to build things is by building things. So even if you go to college, which is not a bad route, you're always gonna be in construction. When you land in construction, you're gonna learn from your first day in construction. That's how you learn. And so that's the most important thing in construction is you have to learn by building. That's the only way to learn construction. That's how you learn the logic of construction. That's how you start being able to build more complex things because you've been there. And it's a lot of common sense. I mean, you've been around construction all your life. You live in a house that was built by somebody else. You eat in a restaurant that was built by someone else. You're on the gyms that the floors are put there for someone else. You know how it is. You know how it's supposed to work. It's just to put it together is how you're gonna learn. That's what you're gonna learn.
So that's great segue to that last question, and then hopefully maybe we'll have some in the chat. But I'll start with you, Michelangelo. One word of advice, one sentence for a high school wanting a job in your field. What would it be?
So I just can say go for it. It's very fun. You're needed. It's a hard working industry. It is. When you hear people talking about construction, they said one of the bad aspects of construction is that you have to work hard, but it's not bad. The reason you have to work hard is because the people around you work hard and they expect the same for you. Okay, so it's a team. It's a teamwork. Like I said, it's a very demanding industry, but it's also a very given industry. You know, there is construction among some other industries is one of those industries. So you're never gonna be in an OR, and you're never gonna talk to a surgeon, and you're gonna hear that, oh yes, I start cleaning the OR, and then I start talking with the nurses, and they give me a chance to start helping the doctors. Within time, I'm gonna be just surgeon today. No, it's a very strict process. They need to go to college. They need to go do this certain things. It's a process to get to be a surgeon. Construction is not that. There's many entry doors that you can go through college, through the trades. You can even change trades. And I mean, one of the senior superintendents we have at McCarthy, he started on the electrical trade. Now he's a senior superintendent, but his MEP knowledge helped him to build, you know, his current position.
Okay.
So, and we are very advanced industry, and most important is we're always growing. It's always growing industry. We cannot just stop building. There was never going to be enough buildings. There were never going to be enough houses. We need to keep building. So we need people to do it.
Okay, that's good. How about you, Kevin? Any advice?
Yeah, so I guess if they were interested in doing particular, say, sports floors like my field, the best thing to do would be to get in touch with a sports flooring company themselves and come sit down with somebody in it and get to know a little more about it, because we have a lot of moving aspects. And as Michelangelo talked about, that, you know, one of the nice things about it is that you might get trained up on the install side of it and you don't really like it, but okay, you've been trained in some pretty good carpentry to be able to move on to another trade at that point and further your career somewhere else. But yeah, so there's a lot of good aspects to it. But yeah, my best advice would be to try and sit down with somebody in that specific trade to get to know a little more about it, to make sure that's the career path you want to try and take.
That's some good advice. Well, we're almost to the end of our time. I wanted to make sure that our audience knows that if you have questions, you can enter it in the chat. You can just write it down. We are here to answer any questions out there regarding carpentry, regarding skilled trades, these career paths these guys have had. So let us know if there's any questions out there. And I'm going to give a minute just to see, with hope. But I know you guys talk so much, I'm sure you've answered everything.
Oh, we can talk.
Oh, I know. Michelangelo and I work together, different cities. I'm in Dallas, and he's in Houston, so.
Michelangelo, did you get to help on that museum project at all?
Yes, sir. I was the concrete superintendent on both phases of the museum.
Okay, nice. We actually are down there working with Winston now on the wood floor portion there. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are still listening, Michelangelo just mentioned, as well as Kevin, they're actually working and have worked on the same job, but just different phases. So that's very cool. The big job, the Museum of Fine Arts.
Yes.
Pretty impressive. All right, any questions? If not, we will close it out.